Hi, everybody. This is our new moon check-in. Thank you so much for following. Yeah, it's another heavy hitter this month. Holy moly. Um, so let's start with the numerology. April is a month of four, and four is it's all about truth. And sometimes hearing the truth is challenging. So in our interpersonal communications, we can be really drawn to being brutal, blunt in our communications and the truth that we feel like we're delivering. Um, and it's also a good time to start learning new things. And it's tax season, and four has a big play in the money field. Also, what's interesting about the four vibration for April is that it also that emphasis on truth really plays into the astrology this month. So, what's going on? First, let's talk about Chiron, the wounded healer. He's been stationed in Pisces for the past 7 years. So what that means is that for 7 years, the whole planet has been processing the deepest, darkest wounding of Pisces, of the feminine. And a lot has been getting dredged up for us to heal. And really, I think that we can see that in the world at large, that a lot of the deep feminine wounding has been coming to the surface, and has been actually getting healed, and that's fantastic. So on April 17th, Chiron moves into Aries, which is the god of war. Holy cow. And the masculine. So for the next 7 years, our focus is really going to be healing the deepest, darkest wounds of man, of the masculine. And so what does that mean? What is the masculine? Masculine is really like a lot of outward energy, forward movement, linear. So feminine is very creative, and then the masculine is what helps us bring that creativity into the material plane. So at the end of this 7 year period, the dream, the prayer is that we can be living in balance with our masculine and our feminine embodied in our being. And also hopefully outward as well. Wouldn't that be nice? What else do I have here? So that's a big shift happening right now. There's also, oh my God, there's just so much right now. So we're really, a lot is being asked of us on a deeply personal level. Deep transformation is happening, whether we want it or not. It's just happening. So for those who have been working on their dharmic path, let's say, and already doing deeply transformational work, the idea is that things should move a little bit more smoothly. That if we can embrace the surrender to our circumstances, that we'll just be moving more smoothly into our ascension and into our power and our ananda and our living our divine path. And for those of us who haven't necessarily been tapped into that, some challenges can be coming up. It can be kind of a painful time because the planet is helping us to get connected to our soul's contract, to our destiny, let's say. This is a time of really great awakening. So that four vibration of April is is really helping the Western astrological aspects out in our awakening, in our personal awakening, and in our awakening as a species. And I would probably say even as a planet as a whole, because this we are living on a conscious living being, and so planet Earth, has her own process that she's going through. And so, speaking of that, yes, we are going through these deeply transformational, transitional, intimate, personal experiences of growth. And the world is like, okay, well, that's great that you're doing your little thing personally. But how does that play into the world at large? You know, when you're dreaming your dream for the world that you want to live in, let's take it out of your own home and apply that to the world at large. Okay, so like we're really being called to look at the big picture and the long game. So like let's really start embracing, what does it mean to think about 7 generations ahead and 7 generations behind, and how does my personal growth process and how do the dreams and aspirations that I have for myself play into that idea of how does it affect 7 generations before and behind me. And so at the same time also that there's this big awakening happening, and we're stepping more and more into our power, and that we're going, okay, what is it, what, you know, like I'm trying to get my words here correct. Yeah, we're having this personal process of, is this serving me? Are these relationships serving me? Is this job serving me? The way that I've always done it, is that really the way that I want to continue doing it? So we're asking these questions personally, and there's an astrological pull right now, to not go there, to keep us rooted in the patriarchy, in the old institutions, and of right and wrong, really. So like, oh, you're bad if you're not doing it this way. You're bad if you're, let's just use like sexuality. You're bad if you're not heterosexual, and you're bad if you don't want a monogamous relationship, just as an example. And I think that we can see that in a lot of different aspects of the world right now. Some things that are really being highlighted is this dichotomy in the world of finance and politics. And holy cow, if you pay attention to the news at all, man, this stuff is up. It's up. So the big call right now is to dream a new dream, and it's gonna take effort to create that new dream and to pull that new dream into reality. But we really want to focus on that, on our dream. What feels good to us right now? What's the shift that we want in our lives? And let's not focus on the shit, I guess, you know, like, oh, what's terrible? Well, if we keep putting our attention there, we'll just keep getting more of that. So let's make that shift into what we want. And the star symbols for this month are just beautiful and perfect to help support us in this transition. So Mercury, the god of communication, has been in retrograde since late March, and he stations direct, I believe, today. But he's not out of his shadow until May. So what it kind of feels like since January is that there have been these puzzle pieces to our awakening that we've been collecting along the way. And we have this kind of nebulous dream and feel of where we want to move, but we don't have all those puzzle pieces yet to really see the full picture. And May is when we can expect that all to come into full crystal clarity. Okay, so the star symbols. Today, the new moon is, let me get there, is, I lost my spot. It's the symbol of the universal law of light, sound, and vibration. Here we go. Universal law of light, sound, and vibration. So when we're talking about how does our dream play into the dream at large, and that pull in the Western zodiac, this is a symbol that can really help us align with that, help our spirits align with that. And we don't even have to use our brains for it. You can just put it on the wall, in front of your bed. When you first wake up in the morning, you can see that symbol, or you can put it on your altar, and it will help support movement in that direction. So we are passing through the gate of renewal right now. And this is also helping to collude with our Western zodiac, the gate of renewal. We're going to be having soul pieces come back into our memory, pop back up, ancient wisdom that our souls have collected throughout time, that's going to be really popping back up into our awareness. So these symbols are helping us to pick up those bundles of knowledge, of wisdom, and to integrate them into our current life path, into our current consciousness. The test for this month is the vision quest to balance future and guide time. Wow, that's perfect, isn't it, for everything that we were just talking about with the zodiac. So this whole moon cycle, this whole 29.5-day moon cycle, is the eagle moon, the Wambdi Wicasa. Forgive me, Lakota, if I'm saying that wrong. Wambdi Wicasa. This is the universal law of symmetry. It helps one lift from the material to the spiritual mind. So when you think of eagle, you can think about that, right? He lifts from the ground and soars so high above, and his vision is long. And this is a symbol that we can use also on our altars all month long to help with the balance in our lives of that. We are currently in the season of perception. That also, I believe, really speaks to what we were talking about in our Western zodiac, and where the planet is with all of that, and picking up those soul pieces, those bundles, those pieces of ancient memory and wisdom. So there you go, you guys. That's what we're working with right now. Because there's so much Aries energy. There's going to be a lot of anger and a lot of outbursts. There's a lot of physical aggression energy right now. So a really healthy way to channel the competitive edge that's coming up for us is sign up for those Spartan races, right? Get into some friendly, physical, healthy competition with each other. Go out and run a race, or I don't know, sign up for a gym membership, start a 30-day challenge with a friend. That really helps to get us into our physical bodies, helps to ground us down for one. And it helps us to burn off a lot of that anger, and that can be pretty sneaky and creep up in other ways. We don't really want to be yelling at our partners, and you know. So, speaking of yelling at our partners, that's another thing to keep in mind right now. There's a really strong emphasis on interpersonal relationships right now. This is all part of us figuring out what serves us the best. So a lot of relationships that we have held up until now might have served us in some ways because it really I don't know, because of the old paradigm, and we're it's no longer serving us. So some things that are up for people is establishing boundaries, healthy boundaries, and that means that first you have to know what you want, and you have to know how you feel, and then you have to go outside of that, and sometimes it's really uncomfortable, and sometimes it's really painful to stand up for yourself and to say, this isn't in right alignment with me, and I can't live like that, and I love you, and then if this is what you want, I fully support you in moving forward and moving on. And then for some of us who are in partnership, that where we have been working on that already, we have already been asking for what we want in healthy ways, and have established our boundaries, and it's really supporting our partnerships to take off to the next level. So since January, we have been ascending through our chakras. January was really all about setting a foundation, and February was about the womb of creation, and March was stepping into our solar plexus and discovering our power, and now we're in a process of integrating all of that. So good luck. I love you. Yeah, let me know in comments what's up for you, and how does this speak to you in your life. I love getting feedback. Yeah, so I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next month. Peace.